in school so far, Mr. McCurley? Okay. Are you still in school, or have you dropped out? Are you taking GED classes? Okay, very good. You're able to speak and understand and read and write English. Right. You understand that Ms. Shellnut is here as the attorney of the day. She may or may not be your appointed counsel. Do you understand that? All right. Ms. McCurley, it would be your right if you want me to read each of the charges that have been brought against you here today, and I'll be glad to do that for you. You understand that? You understand it? You understand it, but counsel's telling me that you want to waive that right. Is she correct in that? All right. Ms. McCurley, you understand you have the absolute right to remain silent and not make any statement to anyone. You understand that? All right. You understand that if you make a statement, that statement can be used against you. You understand that? All right. Ms. McCurley, you understand you have the right to a speedy trial and to a trial by jury. You understand that? You understand you have the right to confront all the witnesses that are called to testify against you. You understand that? It means you get to challenge them. You understand that? All right. You also have the right to call your own witnesses, whether they want to come to court or not. You understand that? You understand you enjoy what's called the presumption of innocence, which means I have to consider you innocent of the charges that have been brought against you until such time as either one, you enter a plea. Does that make sense? Or until you're found guilty by a jury. Do you understand that? All right. Do you have any questions for me at this point? The district attorney has asked me, that's the young lady to my right-hand side. She's here. She's the other side of Ms. Shellnut. Okay. Ms. Shellnut's here to represent you. Ms. Shellnut is here to represent the state. Do you understand that? Yes. All right. The state has asked me to put in place special conditions of bond. One of the special conditions of bond is that you're not going to contact any of the teachers or students at Etowah High School. Do you understand that? Yes. Can you help me with that in not contacting them? All right. Madam District Attorney, anything from you? And you're not requesting bond? All right, do you want to be heard on 1761, paragraph E, 1 through 4? Especially the first two paragraphs with respect to individuals or property in the county? Okay. Ms. Shellnut, you want to be heard on that, the 1761? All right, I'm going to do both things. I'm going to find first that there's probable cause to support the affidavits at this point. Number two, that there will be no bond given today based on 1761 paragraph E. That the case is bound over to Superior Court. All right, do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me? Anything from you? All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The truth is, I don't think I have this in my hand.
Ready with the phone room if you. That's all I can.
Ben Bolton here with the Fox 5 digital team. Thanks for tuning in with this year's live shot in Cherokee County. Two students accused of threats towards Etowah High School are making their first court appearance. We've seen one of the students make their first court appearance. Stay tuned with us here as we await for the second appearance. Looks like it's going to happen any minute. Thanks for tuning in to Fox 5 Live.
Who's this guy in the suit? Sheriff. Oh, that's him. That was cool. It was cool.
Okay. Where'd you get your food?
The bar around the corner. He said you could go to the bar and get drinks with things and bring in duck tacos.
Was it good? He was so hungry.
Yeah, they said you could go and have a flirt or whatever, bring it back in there. So I like things. It was different than I was thinking. It was more socializing in the beginning. Everybody was going to be at the bar. Hanging out for me. When I got there, I wasn't doing it. Like we're doing it alone. It was a small room. Okay. You go to a bar.
Yeah, I don't know if he. That was his first time using it.
Ben Bolton back here at the Fox 5 digital team. Thanks for sticking with us here of our coverage. Wanted to make sure you guys have all the background on this information as we wait for the second student to make their court appearance. For those who aren't as familiar with this story, it's something we've been following for a few days now as arrests were made here recently and more details have come to light in the case of threats made towards Etowah High School in Cherokee County. So here's the information we know to this point. This is all attributed. Sorry for a bit of there. 1 second.
No, I know.
All right, Ben Bolton back here with you live at Fox 5 Live here at Fox 5 Atlanta. So here's information that we know to the point on this story. 2 Cherokee County High School students will face their first court appearance of a judge Thursday for an alleged planning attack on their school. Alfred Dupree, 17 years old of Ackworth, and Victoria McCurley, 17 of Woodstock, were arrested Wednesday after the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office said they planned an attack on their classmates and the faculty at Etowah High School. So far here in our live stream, McCurley has made her first appearance. We're waiting on Dupree for his first appearance. He did have a brief appearance in court minutes before McCurley did, but a couple of quick questions before his first official appearance here in court. So authorities, more details behind this story. Authorities say they found a journal belonging to one of the students with a list of targets. Investigators said they found an incendiary device and a powdery substance at the home of the other student. Both substances have been turned over to the GBI crime lab for testing. Dupree and McCurley are facing a long list of charges, including criminal attempt to commit murder, terroristic threats and acts, criminal attempt to commit arson, possession and or transportation of destructive device, explosive, with intent to kill, injure, or destroy any public building. They're being charged as adults and are scheduled to make their first appearance, as I've said, in front of a judge right now. One of them has made an appearance. You saw that moments ago. I'll replay that for you here in just a minute as we wait for the second student to make their appearance. The arrest warrants for both Dupree and McCurley were sealed by a judge. Cherokee County Sheriff's investigators said someone reported the possible plot to the school tip line on Monday evening. Police followed up by executing search warrants on the homes of both students. Wednesday night, neighbor Christina Sovine told Fox 5 News that she saw a lot of police cars outside of Dupree's home on Monday. She said she grew up with Dupree. They had been close friends since they were in elementary school. Parents of students at the school said it was terrifying when mom said they found the journal and took it seriously enough to notify police. Principal Robert Horn sent a letter explaining the situation to parents on Tuesday. Horn wrote the letter that there are no other suspects and no active threats against the school at this time. The full text of that letter can be found on our website. If you want to click through and look at that, this live stream is also embedded. And if you are using our app to click through to this live stream, you have a button there called App Users View Full Article here. If you click that, that'll take you to this live stream as well, so you can stay with us as we wait for the second suspect to make their appearance. As I said before, Victoria McCurley, 17 years old, out of Woodstock, arrested, along with Alfred Dupree out of Ackworth, 17 years old as well. McCurley has made her first appearance in court, and we are now waiting on Dupree. I've been Bolton here with the Fox 5 digital team. Make sure you stay with us here on Fox 5 Live. We'll be back on here in just a couple of seconds. And we are patiently awaiting here in the next few minutes the first court appearance of Alfred Dupree.
Two L's, two G's.
One L, two G's. I said G L and two
Yeah,
G's.
that's wings.
One L and two G's. It's okay. I know it's bad. I have to try to put on a brave face for me. So she cut. She took it out.
Her tag sticking up.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dupree. Good afternoon. Mr. Dupree, my name is David Dupree. I'm sure you were Cherokee County. My job here is to set off for you if I can, to go over some basic rights that you have here today. Your lady that standing next to us is Charlotte. Charlotte's job is to be your advocate here today. She may or may not be the attorney assigned to your case. Do you understand that? Okay. Mr. Dupree, I've got some questions and some answers between you and I. I'll keep them short and to the point, okay? Mr. Dupree, can you tell me your full and true name? Your full and true name? Yes, sir. Very good. And how old are you? Okay. And do you roughly understand the charges that have been brought against you here today? How far did you go in school, Mr. Dupree? Okay. And you're, before this event, you were a current student? Okay. You're able to speak and understand, read and write English? And you said you understood the nature of the rough charges that have been brought against you? You understand you have the right to be represented by counsel. If you can't afford that counsel, counsel could be appointed for you. You understand that any statement that you make can be used against you. You understand that? You understand you have the absolute right to remain silent. You understand you have the right to a speedy trial by judge or by jury. You understand that? You have the right to confront witnesses called against you, meaning you have the right to challenge them. You understand that? You understand you have the right to call your own witnesses to court to testify on your behalf. You understand that? You understand you enjoy what's called the presumption of innocence. I have to believe that you're innocent until you're acquitted or until you're found guilty by jury. You understand that? Do you have any questions for me at this time? I'll answer them if you've got them. Anything from you, Michelle? Anything from Ms. Day? All right, Michelle, that same constraints as with Ms. McCurley? All right. Mr. Dupree, I'm going to find that at least at this point, probable cause has been established, at least by the documents that I have in front of me. Number 2, you want to be heard on 1761? Okay. That as per 1761, I'm not going to agree upon at this moment in time. Mr. Dupree, the state has asked that I put in place special conditions of bond. It's my understanding that a list of individuals were put in front of you. Did you read that list? I'm going to make it a little broader, that you not contact teachers or students at Etowah High School. Okay? Can you do that for me? All right. Anything else from the state? Anything else from you? Mr. Dupree, anything from you? Again, I'll answer questions if you have them. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're completed at this point. Mr. Dupree, if you'll do me a favor, follow this good gentleman that's standing beside you. Ms. McCurley, can you tell me your true name, please? Do you understand the charges? Roughly understand the charges that you have been brought against you? How far did you go in school so far, Ms. McCurley? Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. McCurley. Ms. McCurley, my name is
Ben Bolton back here with the Fox 5 digital team. We're going to replay for you the first 2 court appearances so you can see both of them without much delay, back to back. So make sure you tune in here and click through. We're updating our article with what the judge said as well as more details. I'm Ben Bolton here with the Fox 5 digital team. Stick with us here on our live stream. We're going to replay the 2 court appearances.
roughly understand the charges that you have been brought against you. How far did you go in school so far, Ms. McCurley? Okay. Are you still in school, or have you dropped out? Are you taking GED classes? Okay, very good. You're able to speak and understand, read and write English. You understand that Ms. Shulnut is here as the attorney of the day. She may or may not be your appointed counsel. Do you understand that? All right. Ms. McCurley, it would be your right if you want me to read each of the charges that have been brought against you here today, and I'll be glad to do that for you. You understand that? You understand it? You understand it, but counsel's telling me that you want to waive that right. Is she correct in that? All right. Ms. McCurley, you understand you have the absolute right to remain silent, not make any statement to anyone. You understand that? You understand that if you make a statement, that statement can be used against you. Do you understand that? Ms. McCurley, you understand you have the right to a speedy trial and to a trial by jury. You understand that? You understand you have the right to confront all the witnesses that are called to testify against you. You understand that? It means you get to challenge them. You understand that? All right. You also have the right to call your own witnesses, whether they want to come to court or not. You understand that? Okay. You understand you enjoy what's called the presumption of innocence, which means I have to consider you innocent of the charges that have been brought against you until such time as either one, you enter a plea. Does that make sense? Or until you're found guilty by a jury. Do you understand that? All right. Do you have any questions for me at this point? The district attorney has asked me, that's the young lady to my right-hand side. She's here, she's the other side of Miss Sheldon. Okay. Miss Sheldon's here to represent you. Miss Sheldon is here to represent the state. Do you understand that? Yes. All right. The state has asked me to put in place special conditions of bond. One of the special conditions of bond is that you're not going to contact any of the teachers or students at Etowah High School. Do you understand that? Yes. Can you help me with that in not contacting them? All right. Madam District Attorney, anything from you? And you're not requesting bond? All right, do you want to be heard on 1761, paragraph E, 1 through 4? Especially the first two paragraphs with respect to individuals or property in the county? Okay. Ms. Shelnut, you want to be heard on that, the 1761? All right, I'm going to do both things. I'm going to find first that there's probable cause to support the affidavits at this point. Number two, that there will be no bond given today based on 1761 paragraph E. That the case is bound over to Superior Court. All right, do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me? Anything from you? All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Dupree. Good afternoon. Mr. Dupree, my name is Felix Green. I'm the manager here at Cherokee County. My job here is to set off to you if I can, to go over some principles if you have here tonight. Your lady that is standing next to you is Ms. Sheldon. Ms. Sheldon's job is to be your advocate here today. She may or may not be the attorney assigned to your case. Do you understand that? Okay. Mr. Dupree, I've got some questions and some answers between you and I. I'll keep them short to the point, okay? Mr. Dupree, can you tell me your full and true name? Your full and true name? Yes, sir. Very good. And how old are you? Okay. you roughly understand the charges that have been brought against you here today? How far did you go in school, Mr. Dupree? And you're before this and guilty you were a current student? You're able to speak and understand, read and write English? And you said you understood the nature of the rough charges that have been brought against you? You understand you have the right to be represented by counsel? If you can't afford that counsel, counsel could be appointed for you. You understand that any statement that you make can be used against you? You understand that? You understand you have the absolute right to remain silent? You understand you have the right to a speedy trial by judge or by jury? You understand that? You have the right to confront witnesses called against you, meaning you have the right to challenge them. You understand that? You understand you have the right to call your own witnesses to court to testify on your behalf. You understand that? You understand you enjoy what's called the presumption of innocence. I have to believe that you're innocent until you're acquitted or until you're found guilty by jury. You understand that? Do you have any questions for me at this time? I'll answer them if you've got. Anything from you, Michelle? Anything from Ms. Davis?
Ben Bolton here with the Fox 5 digital team. Thanks for sticking around here with the Fox 5 Atlanta live stream of the two students making their first court appearances. Make sure you stick with us here. Moments away, I'm going to take you to the shot. You can see it here. We have a press conference from the Cherokee County Sheriff updating information on this case. They're not quite ready yet, so we're taking you back to what the court appearances look like. But as soon as that press conference starts, we'll take you to it. And there'll be more information to this case, so stick around, share it with friends. Thank you.